campus of Cal State Dominguez Hills, Radio Shack presents the MLS Cup playoffs. The site, the Home Depot Center for the Western Conference semifinals, Game 1. The Houston Dynamo on the road against Chivas USA. And their fans are pumped for this one after a 4-22-6 record last year. They are in the playoffs for the first time ever. Speaking of the playoffs, we look at the Western Conference playoff brackets last night. FC Dallas 2-1 victors over Colorado. Houston and Chivas USA set to get on. 2 games, total goals on aggregate. And welcome in, everybody. Glenn Davis along with former U.S. international Marcelo Balboa. When you talk about the Houston Dynamo, one name clearly sticks out. You go right to their midfield focal point, Dwayne De Rosario.
Well, you talk about playmakers, a guy you want to pay to watch play. De Rosario's a guy. Creative, great pace out of it, great vision. These are the kind of players in MLS you got to love. But here's the thing. He scores goals, but this could be one of the last few times you see him actually playing in a Houston Dynamo jersey. And then for Chivas USA, you have El Emperador, 178 caps for the Mexican national team. Claudio Suarez, 20 games, 6 goals. But you talk about turning a defense around, you bring in a guy like this, leader in the back, can also score goals for you. But that's the reason Chivas has turned their season around.
Chivas USA and the Houston Dynamo hope to make positive starts towards wrapping their arms around the MLS Cup trophy. MLS Cup playoffs are next.
Just gonna get through here, guys. Frank, how are we gonna get up there? Frank? How'd you get up there?
Just takes practice.
Nothing must come between you and your Bud Light. Begin!
Can we talk about this?
Again!
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
One Bud Light, please. Baby, go down to Radio Shack and ask them what I want in a wireless phone or plan. Because I have looked everywhere and I still have no clue. MP3s, cameras, streaming stuff, Bluetooth. What is Bluetooth? I don't know, but the guys at Radio Shack do. Together, you can sort it out. So I'm no good at multitasking.
Radio Shack, your neighborhood wireless store.
Lunch is no time to be making tough decisions. So, we made them for you. Every weekday at Bennigan's comes with a specially priced lunch favorite. Come in Mondays for our signature Monte Cristo, Wednesdays for any of our half-pound burgers, or Tuesday for the turkey O'Toole sandwich. Monday through Friday, each day we've got a different deal. $4.99 to $5.99 every weekday at lunch. Another day, another deal at Bennigan's.
At Bayway Lincoln Mercury, our ranking does show. We've been ranked #1 8 years in a row. With more new cars sold, we have trade-ins galore. From Audi to Volvo, whether 2 doors, 4 doors, or more. Hondas, Toyotas, even Chrysler and GMC. To find the perfect model, Bayway's large selection is key. So for large, pre-owned selection and low price, meet the Bayway family. They'll treat you right. Bayway Lincoln Mercury, Gulf Freeway, exit Fuquay, open Sunday.
These are the faces of players who could be the difference in postseason play. For Houston and Chivas USA, the MLS playoffs begin right now. Goal scorers abound on both of these teams, like Ante Razov of Chivas USA, or like Dwayne De Rosario of the Houston Dynamo, who can produce things out of the theater of the imagination. Or maybe like Brian Ching. Radio Shack presents the MLS Cup playoffs. The kickoff is next.
Motel6.com is the only place you need to go to find a great room at a great rate. Olay, 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 olay. The best place for the best rates is Motel6.com. We'll leave the light on for you.
Bartender, 2 more Sierra Mists.
So, which side are you guys with?
Bride side. Yeah, I'm the first cousin. I'm her brother.
Congratulations on your wedding, Kim.
Oh, and thank you for all those, Derek. I really appreciate it. Oh, thank you.
Hey, who put pizza down there? Oh, pizza.
Do you remember
remember the first time your parents left you in charge of the house? What would you do differently? Do you remember your first new car? What if you had a second chance? Civic. Get excited. Again.
You can book your stay online at motel6.com. See, we're hip. We'll leave the light on for you.
Welcome back to the Home Depot Center in Carson, California. Houston Dynamo and Chivas USA. This is the Western Conference semifinal game 1. We go to the third member of our TV crew, Alan Hopkins.
Well, Glenn, the big story this week for Chivas USA was the status of Jesse Marsch. Just 7 days ago in the regular season finale for Chivas USA, he suffered a concussion. He did not train all week until yesterday. I had a chance to catch up with him in the training room about 2 hours before kickoff. He says he feels fine. And when I asked him and I said to him, hey, you know what, I always thought you'd be back, he laughed and said, well, that's just one of us. All time, Jesse Marsch has played in 72% of his matches for Coach Bob Bradley, so his influence in Bradley's team is very well known. Back to you, Glenn.
Thanks, Alan. We look forward to talking to you. Chivas USA in the white and red stripes, the Houston Dynamo in the orange. The Dynamo come in the second seed. Chivas USA the third. It's game on here at the Home Depot Center. And right off the bat, for a guy who just suffered a concussion, Jesse Marsch is fouled in the initial 10 seconds of this one.
Well, it's going to be interesting to watch him. I think that's a key question for Chivas. He came back off such a big concussion. He only trained yesterday. And like Alan said, he was playing. He was a green jersey. Nobody could touch him. He didn't head a ball. Today's going to be interesting to see how long will he last. Can he head the ball and with this heat?
And watch out here. De Rosario has found huge space down the middle to Brad Davis now. Houston threatening right off the top here. Look at deflection. They earn a corner, and what a confidence builder for the Houston Dynamo inside 40 seconds here on the road.
A great steal, great run down the middle. We talked about explosive speed. He's going down the middle. It sucks everybody in. He plays it out to Davis. He gets a corner kick out of it.
Davis to take it. With tons of movement in the box towards the near post, and that one is cleared. Dynamo will get a throw again. Two teams that have a healthy dislike for each other in the Western Conference, and after 4 games have really created a nice sense of a mini rivalry in Major League Soccer. Sirio's got the long throw. Gets it over. Clark gets ahead on it. As Chivas USA struggling here a bit. Wade Barrett now. Serio again, the Canadian international. He's brought down. Free kick time. We thank Radio Shack, all of our Major League sponsors, for allowing us to bring you today's game without interruption. Dynamo putting the pressure on early against Chivas. Marcelo, did you expect that?
I did. I had the opportunity to talk to Dominic Kinnear, the coach, and he said, you know what, we're not going to sit back. We're going to push a little bit. We're not going to get carried away, but we're going to put some pressure on them, respect them, but we want to see what we can get in the first few minutes.
The ability to defend set pieces like this is something that you would question with Chivas USA right now. Davis to take it. Puts it in towards the near post, the header, and a flag is up as that one gathered in by Brad Guzan. We go to the Houston Dynamo Adidas starting lineups. Marcelo, they are in the traditional 4-4-2, and it's a pretty known quantity, this team.
Wow, they're going to play in a 4 onset and goal. Sirio and Robinson, to me, are the key. They've got to be able to mark Valencia and Rozov in the midfield. And we talked about it, trying to open him up. Mullen, number 9, Brad Davis, number 11, getting down the wing, getting some service into your 2 center forward with this Brian Ching and number 8, Dalglish.
The header won there by Juan Pablo Garcia. Here's Rozov, now to Mendoza. Mendoza to Garcia, and this is where Chivas can be dangerous, circulating this ball. Valencia, who has come off injury as well, towards Rozov. And Barrett tries to clear the area, can't. Lawson Vaughn now to the feet of Palencia. Still Palencia. Garcia. Rozov. Chivas trying to go up 1-0. Cleared by Ricardo Clark. Lawson now into the box. Weibel a poor clear. Garcia shot. Save Onstad. As we go to the Chivas USA lineup, a number of changes presented by Adidas.
They do the same again. They come in, Guzan in goal. They come in a count of 4-4-2. Guzan in goal. In the back, a lot of changes. Hernandez at the last minute gets put in. Reagan gets pushed out to the outside, number 24. In the midfield, a little different. Bornstein, number 13, usually plays in the back. He's playing in the midfield. Mendoza, number 6, slips into the midfield with Marsh. And up front, Razov and number 17, Valencia.
Two excellent teams in Major League Soccer. Ball possession fundamental for both of these teams to the way they play. And I love the fact that they're in 4-4-2 alignments where there's not this congestion all the time in midfield.
You know what I like is both of these teams offensive-minded. They move, they go forward. It's not so much get the ball up front. You can see there Suarez. It's going to be a battle tonight. Ching's going out there. Suarez is marking him. But two teams that like to go forward, they keep possession of the ball, and they knock it back and forth. Creates for good soccer and good offensive soccer.
Boy, what we just saw is something Houston will love to see today, is that is dragging Claudio Suarez out of the middle. So it's another free kick for Houston, and Brad Davis again with this articulate left foot to take it. Eddie Robinson is pushed forward. Serio is pushed forward. They got prime headers in there. Craig Weibel as well for Houston. They bend it in. It's a good-looking ball. And cleared by Bornstein, I believe. And the Dynamo will get their second corner of this match.
Well, and talking with Dominic Kinnear yesterday, set pieces, everybody knows each other. You know where the ball's going, but it all depends. Good service every time, good runs. That's very hard to defend. And they're very good. Houston's going to go right in that area right there. They were practicing all day hitting that near post.
They bypass it towards Weibel. It's fisted out by Guzan, who has taken over for Preston Burpo. Mullen's cross is blocked inadvertently by Clark. And De Rosario with some beautiful vision to Davis. Against Lawson Vaughn. To Juan Pablo Garcia, and you got to watch out because Chivas USA can break out as well. Lawson Vaughn now, the rookie. Towards Razov, what a ball from Vaughn. Looked like Serio handled it. Bornstein shot, dropped the ball. But Lawson Vaughn hitting a beautiful ball over 60 yards. And Bornstein nearly putting Chivas USA up 1-0.
A great ball, at least a 50-yard ball. Doesn't float it. He drives this ball in behind. Look at this. And the fact that Razov's in between both, he comes in. And I tell you what, Houston's lucky right there. Serio does use his hand, brings it down. He couldn't have got a free kick, but still, that's that accuracy ball. He puts it right on the dime onto Razov's chest.
Tell you what a great open and entertaining feel so far to this one. Don't want to be premature. We're only 7 minutes in, the first of a two-game series. There have been other scores around Major League Soccer. And, of course, DC United yesterday, Christian Gomez, the 1-0 win over the New York Red Bulls. Professional performance from United. New England lost today to Chicago 1-0. Justin Mapp, and last night, FC Dallas 2-1 over Colorado. Controversial game. We've got some great highlights at halftime for you. Davis and Dalglish is open. This is the son of the former Liverpool legend Kenny Dalglish, who is getting the start tonight up front for the Houston Dynamo. Ricardo Clark in favor of Alejandro Moreno. Davis. Great tempo to this one. And cleared by Regan. Marcelo gets his first start of the year as a left back. That's got to be a little bit uncomfortable for Tim Regan.
Well, you know, it's interesting to see the fact that they're moving. Hernandez comes into the midfield. Regan moves out. A lot of switches for one player. Such a question who you take out. Now you move Mendoza into the inside. I mean, I think the battle's going to be one right there between De Rosario, Clark, and you've got Marsh and Mendoza. That's where the battle's going to be won. Who can dominate and control the midfield today?
Now, Chivas USA did train with Lawson Vaughn, Jason Hernandez, Suarez, and Regan as their back four all week. Do you think they decided to just stay with what they've been training with all week?
You got to go with the gut feeling. Coaches always have that gut feeling. But you know what? The week of practice doesn't make up for what's going to happen in the game. A lot of different scenarios happen. A lot of different things happen. You have to see how it works. But right now, I mean, I'd be more concerned for Regan playing a new position.
Razov is on side with Serio. Serio opted to tackle and lost out, and he's going to foul Ante Razov. Free kick time for Chivas USA.
This is what you get when you get a healthy Ante Razov. Look at him getting the ball, gets his head up. Look at him cutting the ball back. Serio does a nice job, but right there when he goes by, he clips him right there underneath. Has to. He's already by him. But that's the thing. Ante Razov, different, we talked about it, than a Brian Ching. He can get the ball. He can run at you. He can shoot from outside. That's where Ante Razov. Plus, you know what? He looks pretty healthy today.
Jesse Marsh, speaking of health, what an important inclusion he is in the starting lineup. And what a season he has had. To take the free kick. Runs a movement in there, whips it in, and nearly went in. Obviously trying to drive it into the 6, but caused a few anxious moments for Houston Dynamo fans and Pat Onstad.
Well, I like the ball. I like the fact that he's driving it in there. That, to me, is dangerous because all you need is some guys come into the near post, and that right there, you see Onstad's got to respect the far post, but still, that near post shot, if somebody comes across, it always freezes up the goalkeeper.
Here's Craig Weibel now. Boy, talk about a guy who could be the comeback player of the year, coming back after a severely torn knee injury to provide 5 goals for the Dynamo and win the right back spot.
Well, he's not up, Glenn, but I tell you what, you talk about a guy that got bypassed. LCL, PCL.
Russell is the target from Garcia Onstad. Down to make the save.
He has had everything to that knee, the hamstring attendant, everything to come back, to start, to win that starting spot. 5 goals, 1 assist. I'm going to have to say MLS missed a big one on this kid right here.
Dalglish is called offside. Dominic Kinnear, the head coach, is one of the bright young minds in Major League Soccer. And, of course, Marcelo took over a couple of years ago for Frank Yallop and is the man responsible for putting Dwayne De Rosario in that holding role behind 2 strikers. Bob Bradley, of course, the Chivas USA coach. What a revelation and what an effort he has put in to turn this franchise around, literally clearing house. Only 7 or 8 players remaining from that team of last year. And Bradley's name has been mentioned as a potential U.S. national team coach and or assistant coach. So,
well, they should put Dominic Kinnear's name in there, too. The fact what he's done. To me, I thought Bradley is one. Dominic Kinnear, Frank Yallop, to me, those are your top candidates right there. And the way Saragan's doing, you've got to throw him in as top 4 guys in the United States. I'm a big fan of, you know what, they know American players. They know what's going on in the United States. You have to know the American player, I think, to coach a national team.
And there's a lot of talk about a foreign coach being brought in and then one of those top MLS coaches getting that assistant coaching job. So that sounds like a smart plan of thought.
I agree. That's a good plan.
So Chivas USA now. They bring Regan forward. They bring Claudio Suarez forward, who is a definite danger off the set piece in the air. Suarez is in there and couldn't get ahead on it. Looked as though he had beaten Eddie Robinson. ESPN2's presentation of the 2006 MLS Cup playoffs is brought to you by Radio Shack, official sponsor of Major League Soccer. Icy cold lemon lime Sierra Mist. It's that refreshing. And Panasonic. Panasonic, ideas for life. Pat Onstad off the goal kick. Every minute of every game for Houston.
On that last play, you saw that set piece. It gets put in there right outside the 6. You saw Pat Onstad hesitate a little bit. That ball's way too much in the air. He's got to be able to come off that line and get that ball from that distance. I mean, that's a long cross. He should be able to read that and step out a little sooner.
Interesting note, Tim Hanley moved on to become the goalkeeping coach of the LA Galaxy, and Onstad has literally been running the goalkeeping training sessions for him, Zach Wells, and Martin Hutton. So pretty interesting, but a veteran who will be relied on. Ching, nice layoff there, broken up by Chivas USA. Ching wins it back now. Watch out. Look at the pace there of all that leash coming back for the Houston Dynamo. Davis now. Cleared by Regan. Marsh to Suarez. Juan Pablo Garcia. 2 teams that put a high value on circulating the ball here today. Valencia. What an intriguing matchup this is. What a ball from Suarez to Bornstein. And Jesse Marsh's target was Bornstein, covered by Weibel, to throw to the Houston Dynamo.
Well, you know what? I like the matchup, Glenn. We keep talking about these 2 high-powered offenses. I mean, it's Houston 44 goals in 32 games. I mean, that's a team that likes to go forward. Chivas 45 goals in 32 games. The only question mark is, I think defensively, organization. Sometimes they seem to fall apart a little bit, but I think today it's going to be a difficult game. Playoff game. Suarez, you've already seen, is not leaving the middle. You haven't seen Robinson or Cirio push into the attack. back, they're going to sit back and they're going to make sure that, hey, you know what, we keep the back nice and tight.
Adrian Serio has come up in an awkward way. Here's Garcia to Palencia. And boy, the Houston Dynamo have their hands full. As much as we talk about De Rosario and Ching, Valencia, Juan Pablo Garcia, Razov, and Bornstein, what a handful they are for any team in Major League Soccer.
That's a good combination. The only thing you have to worry about is Paco Valencia hasn't played in a while. Garcia hasn't played in a while. It's pretty hot outside today. Can they last 90 minutes? How long and how fatigued will they get before you have to make it sub?
Well, Mullen lost that battle with Jonathan Bornstein. He was the odds-on favorite to win Rookie of the Year, and Mullen decided to come back and say, Rookie, you're going to take one back because I'm getting the ball back for Houston, and he does.
Well, I think it's important tonight, this afternoon, for Mullen. He hasn't really had a great year, but Houston's very successful when he is getting up and down the wing. He's always a tracking through player, so you don't see much of him, but he's got to be able to get some cross-offs. We've seen Brad Davis already go down the left and get some cross-offs. You need the same from the right-hand side.
Valencia has been active. Here he is towards Bornstein, top of the box. Marsh now. What a beautiful piece of confidence for Chivas USA, getting him in the lineup. Broken up by Eddie Robinson, but a good idea by Chivas. Now, is there a big question here between melding the balance of attack between Chivas defensively and attacking-wise? We'll get back to that in a minute. De Rosario's shot. Is there a concern today that they could maybe overextend themselves in game one?
No, I think you see both teams. They're sending, you see De Rosario going forward, you see Ching going forward, De Glees. They're sending 3 or 4 bodies forward, and the same thing with Chivas. It's going to take time for the game to settle down, for them to start pushing the team together. You don't want to make a mistake early in a game and give up a goal. So they're going to see it's calculated, but you're going to see both teams moving, and you can see on that last play off that shot, De Rosario still has a move from that spot.
Houston will get the free kick. Dwayne De Rosario only became really a full-time starter in recent years. We've come to know him as a super sub, has attracted attention from England and Germany. And is truly a two-way midfielder. I mean, this is a guy who works as hard in his own half of the field as he does on the attack. Five players in the box for Houston. Davis gets it over. Regan will drive it towards the halfway line in Valencia. He's causing fits right now for Adrian Serio. Pablo Garcia, and a beautiful ball on the left side to Bornstein. Tremendous vision from Garcia. Bornstein to Valencia. Can he get a shot off? But back here, Mendoza goes down. No call. From referee Jorge Gonzalez, waved it off.
Well, that's going to be the battle you got to watch all afternoon. Valencia and Serio. Valencia seems to be pulling him out, getting the upper hand. It looks like Serio's giving him a little bit too much respect, laying off a little bit. He needs to get tighter. He can't let him lay those balls off like he did in there to Mendoza.
Claudio Suarez, 178 caps for Mexico, went with them to the World Cup this summer in Germany. Onstad will drive it towards the halfway line. We're 22-6 last year with Chivas USA. What a turnaround for this team. And basically, it was a club that last year underestimated Major League Soccer, and Bob Bradley has come in here and melded the Chivas philosophy, restructured his entire roster, and has got a team that selflessly works for each other.
I think he did a good job of mixing some young American players, and just see the difference from this season to last season. 10 wins this year.
Razov is in. He's one-on-one with Onstad to put him up 1-0. Towards the corner and cleared by Barrett. His touch was too long. Wade Barrett comes up with a huge play here in the 18th minute. Onstad was rounded. An empty net was there, and Bob Bradley laments this play.
Well, and Ante Razov needs to do better. You can see that Robinson makes a mistake, but look at Razov all by himself. I like the fake, but I tell you what, Wade Barrett, absolutely phenomenal job. Goalkeeper comes out, he gets in there, he saved Houston right there.
Towards the near post, Weibel got a head on it. And it's Jesse Marsh now. Entertaining stuff so far in the first 19 minutes here at the Home Depot Center. Mendoza broken up by Ricardo Clark. And Clark breaking out now is fouled by Palencia. And a timely foul it was. Because if Clark got past Palencia, tons of space in front of him.
Well, you know, that's right there, shows experience in a veteran. He gets it, he knows he's going to get beat. To me, that's a yellow card. He sticks his leg out, he's already going by him, he takes him down. He took the advantage he had of going down that wing. To me, that's a yellow card.
And here is Ricardo Clark, who has added to his holding and defensive responsibilities that ability to attack from deep, which also is something Chivas USA will have to watch today. Paul Dalglish now with Suarez on him. Davis. Greg Weibel puts a good ball in towards Mullen. Here is Mullen towards the end line. Cuts it back. Chinga's shot is blocked. And Ching goes down in a heap. And has struggled with some discomfort in that right leg, the right knee as of late.
I got an opportunity to watch him practice yesterday. Also had an opportunity to talk to him. And you know what he says? It's still a little bit of swelling in the knee. And it happened when they played against Real Salt Lake on the turf. The next week they played Colorado. Didn't play in that game, the last regular season game. And even said, you know, it's not going to bother him, but it still has a little bit of swelling.
Dalglish's shot a bit tame. Don't forget, the road to the MLS Cup 2006 continues next Sunday with Game 2 of the Eastern Conference semifinal series at 6 Eastern on ESPN2. Amado Guevara in New York will take on Christian Gomez. Jaime Moreno and DC United, who are leading their series 1-0 over the New York Red Bulls. ESPN, ABC, your home for the MLS playoffs and MLS Cup 2006. For more information, log on to ESPN.com.
What a fabulous goal they scored yesterday. DC between Christian Gomez and Jaime Moreno, the 1-2, the ball in the air. I tell you what, absolutely beautiful goal.
Stick with us at halftime. You'll get to see that. As we've got highlights from all the games, and also we'll hear from Rob Stone and Eric Winaldo on the Chicago 1-0 victory today over New England. Claudio Suarez towards Bornstein. He can't control it. The Dynamo will get the throw here. These teams 1-1-2 during the regular season, and a lot of controversy reigned in those 4 games. Started off June 28th, first ever meeting 1-1, and then Houston on July 8th. Got a result over Chivas USA 3-1. Game you might have seen here on ESPN2. And then August 26th, it was Chivas 3-2 over Houston. But remember, Dominic Kinnear went almost ballistic in that one for a non-call on a penalty to Dwayne De Rosario. And then September 17th, 0-0 in Houston with a little fracas around the bench with Panchito Mendoza and assistant coach John Spencer. So some healthy bad blood between these two teams.
This is, you got to try to break through to. No team has lost at home.
Here's Dalglish. Tried to bring in De Rosario, and again they sucked out Suarez. Is it important for Claudio Suarez to remain in the middle today, Marcelo?
You know what? It's important if Claudio Suarez gets taken out of the middle to Hernandez. Always somebody in the middle. You can't leave a gap. Just like on the other side from Houston. If Cirio gets taken out, Eddie Robinson needs to put himself in the middle of the field. You can't leave that big of a gap.
Yeah, because you just saw Claudio Suarez get exposed when he got dragged out wide there. Juan Pablo Garcia. What a season he's having. What a ball there with the outside of his foot to Palencia. Over the top. But Juan Pablo Garcia, the architect of this attack, the Francisco Paco Palencia. And you love that ball just bent into space with the outside of the right foot.
That's a combination. You know what I mean? It's the weight of the pass, the accuracy of the pass. Plays it right into space, so Paco Palencia can run right onto it and strike it. And you know what? You can see it's going to take time for Paco to get his touch back, to get a little bit of a rhythm. He hasn't played in a while. His touch is going to be off. His fitness is going to be off. Important thing, though, for him, make the run at the right time. Make sure you defend at the right time. See if you can last 90 minutes.
Mendoza to Palencia. Jesse Marsh. Lawson Vaughn will knock it back out of the University of Tulsa. Lawson Vaughn's first ever playoff appearance. Only his 12th start of the season. Regan goes direct to Palencia, and Eddie Robinson side puts it down. Sirio is fouled.
I'll tell you what I don't like right now is I've seen Houston twice now. On the long ball, Sirio gets taken into the midfield by one forward, and then it's a one-on-one battle between Eddie Robinson and whoever it is, be it Razov, Palencia, and that's where he made one mistake, and you saw Razov go in. Not a big fan of that one-on-one matchup. There's got to be some sort of cover from one of the outside backs. Dalglish's shot was partially blocked. Are their lines tight enough between between midfield and the back line for Houston right now, or is there too much space being conceded? I think right now there's a little too much space between all three. It just seems like either Barrett or Weibel, one of those two guys keeps pushing up, and there seems to be a bit of a gap they can't seem to find to get themselves into the attack and moving. Brian Mullen, we have a crossing opportunity here. Drives it towards the near post. Nobody getting in the box for Houston because you knew Mullen was going to get there. Ching tries to draw the foul, won't get it. Jesse Marsh now. Direct to Razov. Here is Palencia. Garcia. Razov. Maybe a chance for Razov. Will Sirio get there? He does. And save Onstad. It is dicey at the back right now for the Houston Dynamo, who are in a little disarray right now, and fortunate still to be tied at 0 here. Well, they're still trying to go down the middle. They've been successful when Mullen gets in over the top, he's got a few crosses. Early in the game, the first 5-6 minutes, you had Brad Davis going down the left-hand side. They need to open up the field, open up the width, get Brad Davis involved, get Mullen involved. Here's De Rosario, now it's Mullen. With two players in the box, cross is blocked by Regan. De Rosario gets it over. Good looking ball, and that's the idea for Houston. But Brian Ching heads it over the top. And this is what I think they're going to be successful. Look at the ball, good ball, but an early cross. There's Ching, can't get it down. Well, we talked about it. Getting the ball wide, getting some service. You've got such big bodies, at least. You've got Ching getting in there. You've got big bodies. You need to open up the defense, put the ball wide, and get some crosses in there. We are at the Home Depot Center in Carson, California. The MLS Cup playoffs presented by Radio Shack. The Houston Dynamo, Chivas USA tied at 0. Glenn Davis along with Marcelo Balboa. Down on the field is Alan Hopkins. And an entertaining start to this one. This one could be considered, despite the fact we're only 26 minutes in, the most open game we've seen so far in the first of these two-game series around Major League Soccer, as Dalglish offside. You've got, like you said, Glenn, you've got two teams who, in my opinion, play very good soccer. Not last year Chivas. I will say this year's Chivas under Bob Bradley, attractive soccer played in. They've got much better players. Dominic Kinnear, what he's done with Houston with John Spencer, they knock it, they move it. When you're out here, you feel like this is a professional team. When you watch them practice the way they train, it's good quality soccer, sound soccer, defensively, offensively. This is what you like to see in a playoff. Two teams going at each other. Let's go down to Alan Hopkins with our Radio Shack Coaches Corner with Dominic Kinnear.
Coach, it didn't take you long to get up and start coaching here as this game got underway. Seems like you're a bit troubled by what you're seeing up front in terms of Ching not really holding the ball and getting back and helping defensively. Yeah, well, they're fine defensively. We're all right. It's just that when we get it, we're not really holding on to it too well. It's like one pass, two pass, look for a breakaway. You know, and I wish we just hold the ball a little bit more so we can get out, because when we're losing it, we're too far back in our own half. So far, other than that, the shape pretty good for you? Yeah, we're doing okay. Sorry, I mean, we're doing fine. Shape's good. I think possession-wise, we just need to be, put together 8-10 passes rather than 3 and 4. How patient do you have to be knowing that you got 2 games here? You have to be, you have to be patient. Obviously, you want to go and not just sit back. You want to play. You have to keep in the back of your mind that, let's be smart, Thanks, Coach. Best of luck to you.
All right, Alan. Our thanks to Dominic Kinnear. Here's Dwayne De Rosario in the box now, headed out by Suarez. And as always, we thank all the Major League Soccer coaches for their participation in the Radio Shack Coaches Corner. Not a fun thing always when you got to do it in game, but we appreciate it because it brings great insight. It's tough. The coach is trying to coach, he's trying to watch, he's trying to do the interview. You're right, you got to thank the coaches, and especially because you like the honesty about the coaches sometimes. Yeah, I'm going to say if I'm Houston right now. I'm a little disappointed that the tempo of this game is that up and down now, and they don't have a better grip on that, Marcelo.
You know, it's going to, Glenn, it's hot out there. The field's hard. It's hot out there. So you go in streaks. You push for 5 or 6 minutes and you drop off. You push another 5 or 10 minutes and you drop off. You're going to slow the game down just because of the heat, and that's what's going on. They're going to pick and choose, move the ball, see where you can find some openings, and then exploit those openings.
Here's Mullen. Ricardo Clark, and Clark with a beautiful switch here to Brad Davis. And Houston looking pretty sharp right now with Dwayne De Rosario. Moving off Suarez. Here's Davis. Into the box is De Rosario. And beautiful tackle there, timed beautifully by the veteran Jesse Marsh.
Well, that was a little better. Dominic Neer just said it. He wanted to get 10 passes, 9 passes. They got the pass and they got in there. Marsh did a nice job of coming back and tackling, but at least now you're controlling the tempo a little bit. You're not losing.
Valencia, who has been so active so far. Regan now. Gets it back from Razov. Mendoza. Normally we see him on the left side. Here's Razov now. Bornstein. Bornstein called for the foul. Difficult to play against Chivas USA. I mean, they've got a number of left-sided guys. Bornstein, Mendoza, Razov. Not typical of teams of Major League Soccer.
You know what? You got to love the fact that you've got a young kid like this, Bornstein. Good left foot, scores goals, but he can serve good quality crosses. You don't get that, just like Brad Davis on the Houston side. You don't get too many left-sided players that can dribble, that can cross. He does. He puts a quality ball in. And same with Mendoza. I like to see Mendoza a little on the outside instead of playing in the middle. And I like to see Bornstein playing as a left back. I think they have a good combination of who goes forward, who stays, a lot more dangerous. We haven't seen Bornstein too much. I think that's because of the fact that he doesn't have support from Reagan coming from behind.
And look at this. Valencia wins it back for Chivas USA. 3 players in front of the ball right now, and now a 4th with Mendoza. Looking for support, Mendoza to Garcia. Serio got a tough tackle in on Garcia, who is moaning to referee Jorge Gonzalez for a call, won't get it. Newspapers locally here talking about the fact that PSV Eindhoven scouts are here today to watch Juan Pablo Garcia, the Dutch First Division team. Garcia has clearly stated that Major League Soccer has, in a big way, helped make him a better player here with the physical nature of the league and the different challenges that this league affords him as opposed to the Mexican league.
Well, I don't say this. I was fortunate enough to play in Mexico. And also, I talked yesterday to Suarez, and he said the same thing. You know what? People don't realize I came here, and it took me a month to adapt, because in Mexico, he gets the ball, and it's more relaxed. They drop off. Here, he said, the first time I got the ball, I thought I had time. They came, they closed me down. I think you're starting to see that this is more of the European style, fast-paced, strong, aggressive soccer, and that's why you see a lot of Americans, scouts coming here to pick the Americans now. The players like Garcia coming here, they're starting to look, because they're starting to adapt to the American style of soccer.
Yeah, Valencia also some interesting quotes saying, you know what, I get far less time here than I ever did in Mexico, and it has been an adjustment as an older player. Ricardo Clark now. De Rosario nearly got on the end of it. Mendoza and Garcia. This is dangerous for Houston right now as he's sliding by players left and right. Blocked by Serio, though. He did a great job defending. Finishing strong. 6-game unbeaten streak for the Dynamo, 2-0-4, although they conceded 3 goals in their final game of the season to the Colorado Rapids. And certainly on that night could question their concentration on all 3 of those goals.
I think on both teams. You saw Colorado, a little bit of lack of concentration, and the same thing with Houston. In the 88th minute, you kind of see them let down their guard a little bit. Colorado flicks the ball in. Serio lets Peterson get in behind him, and you know what? As a defender, you can't think. You've got to put yourself in the right position every time and then think later. And I think Serio got caught thinking a little too much that Clark was going to head the ball out. He didn't, and they got burned on it.
Here's Rozoff. Tried to turn it into the space of Bornstein and does. He's one-on-one with Brian Mullen. Will he take him on? He does. And Brian Mullen timing his tackle beautifully. Don't forget to log on to MLSnet.com to follow the MLS playoffs. Scores, video highlights, special features. Has all access behind-the-scenes video, MLS Quick Hits interactive searchable video tool to select the highlights of select plays and players you want to see. All on MLSnet.com. Garcia. 70 appearances in the Mexican League for Atlas. And that cross, not one he would be happy about. Goal kick will come to Houston. Interesting trends you're seeing here, Marcelo, or surprises from either Chivas USA or Houston?
I think you've seen both teams defensively tighten it down a little bit. You can see also, too, you're already into the 34th minute. Sun's starting to take toll. The game's starting to slow down. Like I said, I would still like to see, I think, a little more on the outside. Everything's still going down the middle. I'd like to see Ching hold the ball a little more up front for Houston. I'd like to see Rozoff get involved a little more in the game.
Here's Weibel now. Dwayne De Rosario. Again, the winner of this series will play the winner of FC Dallas and Colorado. Game 2 will be next Sunday, October 29th, 7 o'clock in Houston, Texas at Robertson Stadium. And here comes the Dynamo. Davis, who's got absolutely nobody in the box, finds Mullen. Brian Mullen. Towards the end line, beats Regan, cuts it back. Clark was there, but cut out by Mendoza, who did the work to get back and snuff out that attack. Here's Jesse Marsh now for Chivas USA. Garcia beats one, he beats two. But Barrett will recover. No call. Davis now. So a little edge has come off the game now. But man, it was like somebody shot a gun. It was off to the races here in the first 20 to 25 minutes.
You have to. You don't want to come into somebody else's home and then let them come right at you. I think you don't want to show fear. You want to show respect. And I think that's what Houston did. They came in, they pushed forward. There's respect there. We're going to push a little bit. We're not going to sit back and show any kind of fear. And you see now both teams, like I said, the sun's going to take a toll. It's going to slow the game down. But it's important, for, like I said, for me, Houston's success is going to come from Brad Davis and Mullen, Brian Mullen on the outside, getting those crosses and going at their defenders. And on the other hand, for Chivas, for me, it's still the same thing. One, we haven't seen much of Mendoza. And two, we've only seen Rozoff with one shot. We haven't seen him involved that much in the game. And those are the key players that need to be involved in the game.
Francisco Mendoza, less effective central as far as his normal position of playing out wide. He's on the ball right now.
I think so. I think he's such a good player with that left foot. He can get up, down, he can beat players, he can cross. It just seems to be in the middle. There's too many bodies. He's not open on the outside. Rankin goes forward, but he's not much of a threat compared to Mendoza.
Some nice interchanging that goes on in the Chivas USA midfield. On Pablo Garcia, Weibel is there. To Mullen. What a move from Mullen. Over the top towards Dalglish. But it all became a threat because of that quick little move that created space for Brian Mullen. What a thing of beauty that was. And De Rosario brings down Mendoza. First yellow card of this game. Not sure about that one. Soft yellow?
I think so. If you're not going to give Palencia a yellow card for the tackle he laid over here when Clark was leaving, you shouldn't give one there. And let's take a look. There comes the ball. He dives in. Now it's a yellow card. I take it back. That's a yellow card. He took a swing in and it deserved a yellow card. That's a good move. And here's the move we talked about. Look how quick that was. Quick pullback, and he's off to the races. Plays the ball a little too far for Dalglish, but still, I like that. Real quick pull. He sees he's aware of what's behind him. He does a little quick back, pulls it, takes it down the wing. That's a good positive step right in there.
Yeah, that even looked fast in slow motion.
You know, it's a quick game, man. Quick foot, boom, and he was gone.
And here's Mullen again, wins it. Dalglish is out wide now for Houston. And he lost possession. Mendoza now. To Bornstein. And it's a bad ball from Mendoza to Brian Ching. He's got De Rosario in front of him. And Dalglish is fouled by Mendoza. Let's go quickly down to Alan Hopkins. Alan?
Well, the one thing that Coach Kinnear and I were talking about as we waited to do our little interview was the Heat, a 1 o'clock kickoff today. Usually Sunday afternoon games here at the Home Depot Center kick off at 4 or 5 p.m. or even 7 o'clock. And here the Heat certainly a factor. That last break there, the 10 to the injured Chivas USA player, just about every player came over to hydrate themselves. The Heat certainly taking its toll here, I think, early on in the willingness of the teams to go forward and attack.
All right, Alan, thank you very much. And, of course, that's going to be an issue to guys coming off injury. Players like Paul Dalglish, who's getting used to things in Major League Soccer. Dynamo load the box up. 39th minute, we're tied at 0. Davis. And delivery not good. Headed out by Bornstein. Serial. To De Rosario. And he's not close down. Chivas USA not honoring Dwayne De Rosario from long range, and he tested Brad Guzan there.
You know, why not? He's got an angle right there. Look at him, hits it with power. He bends it. It looks like Guzan gets a late read to it, but I tell you what, great touch, great look from behind. Look at this ball bending. Look at the touch. Bounce, touch. That's a hard ball because of that bounce. You're not sure how high it's going to bounce. He gets his hand. That's a great save.
Guzan in his 14th start today. And of course, his first ever playoff game. 5 shutouts on the year. Shared time with Preston Burpo. Davis goes through everybody. And clear. So the Dynamo again testing Chivas USA on the set pieces where they look a bit shaky. More from Davis. Well, Dwayne De Rosario has really provided some spectacular goals over this MLS season.
These are the last. It was 2004 goal of the year. Look at the way he hits that out of the air. Just a bomb, almost like the one we saw earlier from Rozov. And this one is my favorite. Look at the way he whips that ball, the way it's bending. Upper 90. You're not going to get a better free kick than that.
Yeah, my apologies. Those were the 2 MLS Goal of the Year award winners, and De Rosario, certainly with his halfway line goal against Chicago, could be up for a 3rd straight.
We talked about it. You've seen him pull one out of the air, a volley. You saw a free kick, and then the awareness of the hit one from 30 yards on Zach Thornton from Chicago. You know what? That to me is just quick thinking, and that's what we talk about. Playmakers, always 1 or 2 seconds ahead of everybody else. They see things before everybody else. De Rosario has that because he saw Zach off his line, and he belted it from halfway line and put it in the back of the net.
King and Dalglish don't seem to be playing together up front right now for Houston, and they have not had a lot of time together.
No, but it's also tough, like you said, no time together. The only reason you don't see Alejandro Moreno, and he played during the week against Uruguay, and we saw him at practice yesterday. He came in halfway through with a big smile on his face saying, I've never had to play coach and then come in and try to practice. So you'll probably see him later on if things aren't going well, but still, these are the things. You've got to find a little bit of chemistry, especially for the playoffs up front.
Yeah, airline tickets a little different between playing for the Brazilian national team in Venezuela.
Yeah.
Good for Moreno. Not in the starting lineup, but would he have been in it anyway, despite the fact that Paul Dalglish has scored in 2 straight games?
I think you got to go, like you said, the X factor is Dalglish. Nobody really knows how fast he is or what he can do. I think eventually he'll pay off. But I tell you what, Chivas has done a nice job in the back keeping him a check.
Here's Davis. Shook off that tackle by Garcia, and Garcia's going to foul him. And a needless foul there. And a silly one because Houston is definitely one of the most dangerous teams in MLS off these type of set pieces.
They got good running. They've got big body. Serio. You got Weibel. You've got Eddie Robinson going in there. Ching. I tell you what, so far, Chivas has done a nice job. And even Bradley said how important these are. And they've worked on them, and they've done a good job so far.
Davis. And Serio beat everybody to it. Did not make good contact. And he has scored off the set piece and corner this year.
1 goal, but I tell you what, the service that Brad Davis puts in, nice left-footed, bends it, doesn't float, it just drives it into the space.
Rozov Mendoza to Palencia now. Marco Palencia back to Razov. And cleared by Weibel. Good hold-up play from Ching, and they get it wide to Davis now. Home Depot Center, Carson, California. Game 1 of a 2-game set between the Houston Dynamo and Chivas USA. Coming up at halftime, we'll take a look as the 2006 MLS playoffs begin. Rob Stone and Eric Winalda will give us a report from Chicago, the Fire's victory over New England, and the Sierra Mist Goal of the Week nominees all coming up at halftime. The Goal of the Year. Stick with us. And boy, are there some unbelievable choices. Provided by some out here. Here's Juan Pablo Garcia. Razov and Palencia to his left. He gets it to Palencia. Palencia brought down. Free kick time for Chivas USA in a very dangerous spot.
You got to say there's 2 mistakes made, and they're made by the same player. One, Sirio dives in early, misses the ball, then he comes back, and then he hits Palencia from behind. Too many bodies there. Shouldn't be diving in on that situation. But I'll tell you what, the first mistakes come when Garcia's down there. He goes sliding in. You're so far away from goal. Stand him up. Keep in front of you. Don't let him beat you down the wing.
Wherever was an angle, as we look at Pat Onstad, that favored this man, Ante Razov. This may be it. If he had a ball and he said, place it where I want it for a free kick, this may be the exact spot where he would put it.
I may move back maybe 5 yards so I can get the ball up and down, hit it a little harder. But Ante, he's got a good left foot. But I tell you what, Ante's put himself in a pretty good position right now.
Yeah. Standing in this wall, you fear for your life. Razov. It'll be Razov on the shot. He throws Onstad. Chivas USA up 1-0. Ante Razov with a gem off the free kick.
Wow, you talk about freezing a goalkeeper. Look at Garcia go over the ball. Just freezes everybody. Look at Onstad, has no clue. Sees it going over the wall. Great look from here. Watch Onstad. Look at Ante Razov up and over the wall right next to the post. He had no chance. That is an absolutely phenomenal free kick from Ante Razov.
Now, Marcelo, there's where you make a statement for standing somebody on the near post. Houston didn't.
It looked like Brad Davis. Somebody was trying to get back when he was getting ready to hit the ball. But I tell you what, you have somebody there, it's possibly saved. But I tell you, Ante Razov does a good job. He sees it, he first puts it over the wall, freezes Onstad, puts it right next to the post. Beautiful shot.
Yeah, and maybe everybody was expecting power, and they got a delicate chip. And Chivas USA has gotten the vital first goal here. And we are in stoppage time. That'll do it. It comes on the stroke of halftime. Chivas USA has the 1-0 lead over the Houston Dynamo. A stoppage time goal from Ante Razov. When we return, Marcelo and I will get you completely caught up in the opening games of the MLS Cup playoffs. That and more as Radio Shack presents MLS Playoffs.
Bartender, 2 more Sierra Mists.
So, which side are you guys with?
Bride side. Bride.
Yeah, I'm the first cousin.
I'm her brother.
Congratulations on your wedding, Kim.
Oh, and thank you for all this, Derek. I really appreciate it. Oh, thank you.
Hey, who put pizza down there? Oh, pizza.
Baby, go down to Radio Shack and ask them what I want in a wireless phone or plan. Because I have looked everywhere and I still have no clue. MP3s, cameras, streaming stuff, Bluetooth. What is Bluetooth? I don't know, but the guys at Radio Shack do. Together, you can sort it out. So I'm no good at multitasking.
Radio Shack, your neighborhood wireless store.
There's a world between the baselines, where Rockets are red and Devils are blue. Knights defend, but Giants rule. Here, Panthers run and Eagles fly. This is where teams come together and players show their true colors.
Honey, which color do you like better, the white or the ivory?
Well,
Oh, look, this one comes with a chrome tray.
riveting stuff, isn't it? Which one will she go for? Yeah, this is far more suspenseful than us analyzing two powerhouses colliding in Austin. Isn't that right, guys? Man, I hope she goes for the crumb tray.
ESPN College Game Day, built by the Home Depot. Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN.
Gallery Furniture is your one-stop shopping source for the ultimate in home theater rooms. We've got leather and fabric stadium seating. You can buy it today and have it delivered today from our giant in-stock inventory, or special order your leather home theater stadium seating is delivered within 7 days or it's free. We've got the big screen TVs, surround sound speakers. We'll even build the riser, do the walls for you, and we've got a special package with not one, not two, but 6 big screen TVs on the wall for your ultimate home theater room. On home theater seating, Gallery Furniture saves you money today.
We deck the hall with Christmas. The Rockettes are all a-dancing. The choir is a-singing. The sleigh bells are a-ringing. Never was there ever such a Christmas show.
The Rockettes are coming to Houston for the first time ever, December 7th through the 31st at the Hobby Center for the Performing Arts. Tickets on sale September 24th at the box office, Ticketmaster outlets, BroadwayAcrossAmerica.com, Tuts.com, or charge by phone.
Tiki Barber had a huge day in Atlanta. He's the NFL's leading rusher. Eli Manning and company are 3-2. The player made the big plays on Sunday. 3 TOTDs, and Dallas is at 3-2 as well. The Giants, the Cowboys, 8:30 Eastern on ESPN's Monday Night Football.
Chivas USA fans delighted with the goal from Ante Razov off the free kick here. That has Chivas USA the 1-0 lead over the Houston Dynamo. And welcome back, everybody, to the Home Depot Center in Carson, California. Now, this is the 4th playoff matchup here getting underway here today, but plenty of highlights from this weekend. And first we go to New York and Giant Stadium, where the New York Red Bulls took on DC United. What a piece of combination play here between Christian Gomez and Jaime Moreno as he lobs John Conway. That goal would be the difference in the 74th minute as they weave their way through the entire New York Red Bulls defense. Christian Gomez, a leading candidate for the MVP, but New York would make it interesting. This header by Jeff Clark had everything beaten but the woodwork as Amado Guevara and company go down to Christian Gomez and DC United. FC Dallas in Colorado Saturday night. Rapid Man was in all smiles at Invesco Field, but at the end of the day, Carlos Ruiz, controversial goal, handles it here, knocks it in front of him, and put FC Dallas up early 1-0. The Rapids would respond. Martins off the crossbar. The follow from Terry Cook, his first. The league-leading assist man in MLS. And then another controversial goal. Was he on or offside? Onside was the call. Abe Thompson putting FC Dallas up 2-1. Nico Hernandez called for this foul as Thiago Martins scores. Doesn't count. And the final score, FC Dallas and Dario Sala would get the result. New England today going down to the Chicago Fire. Another free kick to difference. Justin Mapp in that one, and Rob Stone and Eric Winaldo will have more for that. I bring back in DC United's results. You see them there, FC Dallas, and of course the New England Revolution going down to the Chicago Fire. Welcome back in my partner Marcelo Balboa, the former U.S. International. Anything of interest that you're picking out of these opening games?
You know, I think when you look at DC and you say DC started to hit that stride again, they started playing pretty well. They controlled pretty much the whole game. But then you go to the Colorado game, clear handball, how the referee doesn't see it. Then Colorado's trying to get back into it, a very soft foul that you looked at from Nico Hernandez. You start saying to yourself, referees shouldn't come into a factor. But you know what? You're starting to see the teams, number 1 team in the West, doing their job. You begin there, they go to Colorado, they get the result. Same with D.C. You're starting to see teams play a little better soccer, and I think that was the key to yesterday's results.
Yeah, professional performance from D.C. United. All season long, you, the fans, have been voting on MLSnet.com for the Sierra Mist Goal of the Week. Now it's time to log on again and start voting for your Sierra Mist Goal of the Year. Make sure to tune into MLS Cup 2006 on November 12th and find out who your winner is for the 2006 Sierra Mist Goal of the Year. Next week, the 2006 MLS playoffs continue with a great matchup in the East Bruce Arena. Amado Guevara, the Red Bulls head to RFK to face Christian Gomez, Jaime Moreno, and DC United for Game 2 of their semifinal series. The aggregate goal winner moves on to the Houston onto the conference final. Houston and Chivas tied at the break. 2006 MLS playoff.
This copyrighted telecast of Major League Soccer and ESPN may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the expressed written consent of Major League Soccer and ESPN.
The undeniable power of Panasonic Plasma. Nothing compares to America's best-selling plasma TVs. Panasonic. Ideas for life.
Motel6.com is the only place you need to go to find a great room at a great rate. Olay, 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 olay. The best place for the best rates is Motel6.com. We'll leave the light on for you.
No le tengo miedo a la presión de los fanáticos. Igual no le tengo miedo a la presión de la competencia. Pero lo que sí me da miedo, me hace jugar cada partido como si fuera mi último, es ser el jugador sentado en el banco. Eso sí me da miedo. FIFA 07, clasificado E para toda la gente. EA Sports, is in the game.
Here's Michael at the foul line. He shoots over Relo. No good. Michael misses. Cleveland wins. They're waving Giambi around.
If you're a fraction off, it can change everything. On the field and in the lab, where Gatorade scientists test and retest athletes, so we know exactly what their bodies demand. Precision counts. Out there.
Bulls win! Bulls win!
And in here.
You can help every child get in the game. Check out the U.S. Soccer Foundation's Pass Back program. Find out how you can donate new and gently used soccer gear. Last year, Passback helped outfit 32,000 children around the country. That's a lot of happy faces. Bring your equipment to your MLS team's next Passback night or go to passback.org to learn of other collection sites near you. Share the equipment. Share the game.
You can book your stay online at motel6.com. See, we're hip. We'll leave the light on for you.
Anyway, that's the control room. A lot of chaos there, but it all looks good when it comes out in the show, actually, thanks to those people. Then over here in the digital center is our highlight screening area. So that's where we get all the games that are played that night, down in a 90-second or 2-minute clips or whatever you're going to see on SportsCenter every night. This hallway, it runs between, both rooms. If you want to get from the control room to the screening, then this is the hallway you'd take. Questions or anything? I can answer whatever you want about the place. Nothing?
Earlier today in Chicago, the New England Revolution's 7-game unbeaten string came to an end as the Fire took Game 1 of their Eastern Conference semifinal series 1-0. Here's your game's only goal.
Well, I'll tell you, Robin, in the playoffs, you got to get everything right, all the little things. Careless little tackle from Jay Heaps, and watch the wall. Where is the wall on this play? Right through it. Dorman moves out of the way. You'd think that they'd have these kind of things together at this point in the season, but the inches. It's the game of inches, and that little mistake cost them the game 1-0. And now here's the other part of it. Chicago has had New England's number in New England, so this is getting interesting.
Fire unbeaten in New England this season, and to make matters worse for the Revolution, Clint Dempsey left the game late in the second half, an ankle injury. He was unable to continue. We'll have to track his status as the week progresses. They get set for Game 2. What do you foresee in Game 2 next Saturday at Gillette Stadium?
They got to get their act together. They did not have the crossing game they normally have. With Dempsey out of the lineup, I see Chicago going through in this thing.
Justin Mapp's first career playoff goal, the difference as the Fire take Game 1 of this two-game aggregate goal series. 1-0 Game 2 next Saturday night in New England at Gillette Stadium. And we'll get you back to L.A. for the rest of Chivas USA Houston after this.
That was an amazing win. How do you feel?
I feel great. I feel awesome.
A lot of people wrote you guys off early this year. Did you have any doubts?
No doubts. No doubts.
What's it like to be part of sports history?
I have no idea.
Can't find the word?
No, I'm not on the team. I'm just here for the Bud Light. I can get you one. It's a cooler right over here. Are you sure? Woo!
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
The way they work today.
Baby, go down to Radio Shack and ask them what I want in a wireless phone or plan. Because I have looked everywhere and I still have no clue. MP3s, cameras, streaming stuff, Bluetooth. What is Bluetooth? I don't know, but the guys at Radio Shack do. Together, you can sort it out. So I'm no good at multitasking.
Radio Shack, your neighborhood wireless store.
Bartender, 2 more Sierra Mists.
So, which side are you guys with?
Bride side.
Yeah, I'm the first cousin.
I'm her brother.
Congratulations on your wedding, Kim.
Oh, and thank you for all this, Derek. I really appreciate it. Oh, thank you.
Hey, who put pizza down there? Oh, pizza.
Honey, which color do you like better, the white or the ivory?
Well,
Oh, look, this one comes with a crumb tray.
Riveting stuff, isn't it? Which one will she go for? Yeah, this is far more suspenseful than us analyzing two powerhouses colliding in Austin. Isn't that right, guys? Man, I hope she goes for the crumb tray.
ESPN College Game Day, built by the Home Depot. Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN.
At Supermark, scoring a touchdown isn't enough.
On a post on 2. Hut, hut.
We want you to go for 2.
Suits, 2 for 120. Dress shirt, 2 for 25. Stacey Adams, 2 for 72. Tie, 2 for 18. Suitmark, the original men's superstore.
4 locations, open every day.
She's fun, colorful, stylish, and always original. She's Candace Olson, Divine Design, Thursdays at 9 on HGTV.
Sponsored locally by Panasonic Vacuums with Power on Demand. They automatically give you more power, just when you need it. Panasonic, ideas for life.
And welcome back to the Home Depot Center in Carson, California, as Radio Shack presents the MLS Cup playoffs. Intriguing first half here with Chivas USA, the 1-0 lead, Ante Razov, and his free kick goal, a thing of beauty. Marcelo, let's take a look at the Panasonic game shots. That will certainly illustrate Razov from the free kick.
Wow, big mistake won by Sirio committing a foul right there. But I'll tell you what, Ante Razov, I think he fools everybody with the power, and look at the placement right next to the post, and that's a dagger right before you go into halftime in the 46th minute. But you talk about some nice placement right near to the post. Great goal by Ante Razov and Chivas USA.
15th goal overall for Razov. First of the playoffs, obviously. And there was question about his health and sharpness coming into this one. I actually told Bob Bradley last weekend in the final regular season game that didn't have any meaning, that he wanted to play and wanted to get minutes, and he has provided the difference here today. Claudio Suarez has held it down at the back. What does Houston do here in the second half now? Down a goal, Marcelo, because this is tricky in a two-game series.
I think we saw it last year when they played the Galaxy. They got back into it at 2-1. They kept on going forward. You know what? Plenty of time to get in the game. Don't make any mistakes out of the back. Keep pushing. Keep playing the game. Knock it around. Your chances are going to come off set pieces, off crosses. You don't panic. If it gets late in the game, you've got about 10 minutes in. You know what? You still send 1 or 2 guys, but you get out of here 1-0, and you take it home to your place.
Here are the Western Conference brackets, and you'll see that last night, FC Dallas, a 2-1 victory over Colorado. Abe Thompson got the game winner in that one. And then Houston and Chivas USA. Houston and Chivas USA will turn around and play next Sunday, October 29th, 7 p.m. at Robertson Stadium on the campus of the University of Houston. In the second game, that's one that fans will not want to miss. Game on here in the second half. The Houston Dynamo in the orange against Chivas USA in the red and white. Glenn Davis alongside Marcelo Balboa. And this should be a very interesting 45 minutes here to close out game one. Now, in the back of Houston's mind right now, are they thinking potentially conservative here? We can't let this get away and lose by 2 goals here?
You don't want to lose by 2 goals. You want to make sure conservatively you're in the back, you're putting yourself in good positions, you're knocking around, keeping possession, like Dominic said, getting the 10, 15 passes, taking care of the ball, not like they did right there.
Watch out, Bornstein now against Weibel. Cuts it back, Valencia's at the top of the box. And doesn't hit it well. We thank Sierra Mist and all of our Major League Soccer sponsors for allowing us to bring you today's game without interruption. Davis to Ching. Ching gets it wide to Brad Davis. Oh, what a move from Davis. And earns the free kick. And again, here's a guy confronted by 2 defenders, has nowhere to go. Makes a little space for himself and earns a free kick.
Yeah, good player. You see him put it on his left foot. He was shielding it. He gets it, tucks it in, puts it around the corner, and just a lot of skill. You can see that MLS leaders in assists. Brad Davis was number 2. But still, I mean, the set pieces, the way he hits these balls, this is where Houston needs to take advantage of it.
And again, they load the box up. And Davis's delivery, not good. Serio was there. Marsh clears it awkwardly. Ricardo Clark. De Rosario's shot is blocked by Lawson Vaughn. And Chivas USA will get a free kick. As Juan Pablo Garcia is down. The battle in midfield today between these 2 teams, as you look at Juan Pablo Garcia, who has won it so far?
You know what? I'd have to say right now it's been pretty even, 50-50. I mean, there's one big mistake, that was on the set piece, but it was a mistake. Ante Razov hits a great free kick, but it's gone to both ends. Both teams have had some good opportunities. On set pieces, Houston's had some great opportunities. The free kick that Ante Razov hit, I mean, it's been a pretty even game.
Juan Pablo Garcia goes down after that tackle from Wade Barrett. And don't forget, he has had some injury problems. But a real critical 45 minutes for the Houston Dynamo.
And this, look at this, right there. Look at the way that ankle gets stuck, and that's where he gets hurt. He gets in there, rolls his ankle a little bit on the turf, and this turf was just laid down, as you can see, so it's going to have a little give, and you can see the way the dirt just flew up, got his leg stuck, and rolled it a little bit.
Serio to Barrett, and Barrett just clears the area. Juan Pablo Garcia. And boy, does he look dangerous in the attack today. To the feet of Razov. Good work from Chivas USA. And Valencia's ball won't find Mendoza. Sort of switch for the moment. Dalglish got a good run from De Rosario. De Rosario trying to get in front of a defender here. His shot towards the near post is blocked, but the Houston Dynamo earn a corner, and that was a good movement there from De Rosario to get in front of the ball.
Well, he gets the ball, he lays it off. Dalglish does a nice job of playing the ball back into space, and it was a 3-man attack. That's what they need to do. Man, speed, you're talking about the DeRosario has. He's going to be able to get by people. Now it's about putting the ball into space and let him hit full stride.
And again, you cannot continue to concede corners and set pieces to the Houston Dynamo. Lots of movement, good-looking ball, but it goes right into Brad Guzan. So actually, the cross from Davis doesn't hit the right area.
Still not hitting the right area. Yesterday, I watched them train, and they were hitting right at the near post, just like they did against Colorado. You saw the goal they hit. They freeze the goalkeeper. Weibel goes far post. They aim for that first guy on that near post, right outside the 6-yard box, trying to drive it into that spot.
Ricardo Clark. Here was Mendoza. So Mendoza continuing in the central role. Here's Bornstein. Valencia, can he get a shot off? Here's save Onstad. And they broke down that back line with a beautifully timed run and beautifully delivered ball. And credit Pat Onstad for reading that.
Great play by Onstad. 2005 MLS Goalkeeper of the Year. You can see timing. He read it well. He closed the space down, stayed on his feet, and then closed it down. That's a sign of a good keeper. I tell you what, Bornstein plays a great ball. Look at this ball, perfectly weighted. There comes in Palencia right there. Good save. Onstad's off his line, makes a good save. Robinson's gotten beat quite a few times now. You can see him jog, and you got beat. You shouldn't be jogging. You should be running full speed to get back in there.
Doesn't seem like Robinson and Serio have worked as one in the middle as center backs today.
They seem to be a little off. I mean, they've done a decent job. They haven't really collapsed, but they've left a few gaps. Too much distance between them.
Off the corner. Regan was the intended target. Vegas USA will get another one. Jesse Marsh. What an important turn of events to get him in the starting lineup today after suffering a mild concussion last weekend against Real Salt Lake. And he has made a difference today. Towards the back post. Weibel gets up. Dynamo having a hard time clearing the area, and finally Mullen gets it towards the halfway line. This is Lawson Vaughn. And his ball won't connect. Has Houston been compact enough here, Marcelo? Have they gotten a little bit too stretched out for game one on the road?
I think they're starting to divide themselves up. It's a Ching and Dalglish kind of going, and then you're getting DeRosario to push up. 3 guys are attacking. They need to keep possession of the ball. They need to knock it around. When they keep possession of it, that gives an opportunity for the back defenders to push up, the midfielders get involved. Now you've got your team compact on the offensive side.
Here's Barrett. Closed down quickly by Garcia, and he wins it back after a heavy challenge there. And Barrett and Garcia in front of the Chivas bench. And they've been going at it.
That's one guy, too, you don't talk too much about. You don't say his name much, and I say Wade Barrett. But what a great job he does. You never hear about anybody down a side, and that's what Dominic Kinnear was saying yesterday. You just never hear about him much, but you don't get down a side, you don't bring up his name much, and the guy that gets the ball that's going down the side, you don't talk about it much.
Yeah, dependable, reliable, spent a little time in Denmark. They've used him on the left side in midfield due to injury problems. Wade Barrett, great point you bring up. Here's Ricardo Clark, or make that Ching. Brian Ching. His ball, not a good one back. Jesse Marsh loses possession. Ricardo Clark. This is Dalglish. Still Dalglish. He got it to Mullen, who has a crossing opportunity here, possibly. Towards the back post and over Brad Davis. Possession now for Houston. A Rosario shot blocked by Claudio Suarez. The Dynamo now pinning Chivas USA back here in the 54th minute. Mullen coming inside towards Ching and gathered in by Guzan.
But that was better. They were able to keep possession, stay in possession, get their guys in, get Mullen involved, get Davis involved. Now their whole team was on the offensive third, keeping Chivas put in there. Then they make some runs. The last pass needs to be better, but that's better. They can't keep hitting 1 or 2 passes and then looking to spring DeRosario. It's got to be possession. Keep it, control the game.
Dalglish behind Ricardo Clark, got a touch on the Ching. And just missed bringing Brian Ching in. So Houston gathering a little bit of confidence here as De Rosario now on the ball. Can't control it. And that pass might have been intended for Brad Davis. Serio getting a tug of the jersey from Palencia. Dynamo 3-5-8 during the regular season on the road. Chivas USA 7-2-7 at home. De Rosario. Nice hesitation. Look how deep Jesse Marsh is defending here. Robinson steps up. And watch out, a bad ball has led to a counterattack here with Mendoza, who holds it up and earns a free kick. Didn't feel like he had the numbers, decided to hold it up, draws the foul.
Yeah, smart play. He had nowhere to go. There was nobody up front. Rozov was off to the side, so what's he doing? Swings it around, he slows the game down, gets the foul. That's a smart play, especially in the heat. Slow the game down a little bit. Don't force the ball.
Chivas USA have not scored more than one goal in a game since August 26th. Which, if you want an irrelevant statistic maybe for the playoffs, that may be one. But they have not had a 2-goal game since August 26th.
And they played who am I doing? They played Houston, August 26th. They had 2 goals.
Mullen towards the central area there, and Brian Ching had found a little space between 2 defenders. Look at this support from the Chivas USA fans who remained loyal to a 424-6 season last year. And they're now reaping the rewards of playoffs in a 1-0 lead. Ching got it wide. Mullen's got some space on the right side now. Back in Regan. Davis. Got a run from Barrett. Good ball there. Barrett has a crossing opportunity and blocked. Garcia and Barrett have a tremendous one-on-one matchup going on wide here. And Garcia cut the cross off beautifully.
That's some great work, intelligent work by Brad Davis. Holds the ball up, waits for Barrett to make the run, lays the ball off. That's some good play. They're finally starting to work the outside. That's where their success is going to come today.
Gets it over, good cross. And Regan got a head on it right near Craig Weibel. Mullen now. Towards the back post, Ching is up! Headed right at Guzan. No snap to the header from the U.S. international Brian Ching.
No, not much, but we talked about getting the cross, just not much pop to that. Look, he gets up, heads it right to Guzan, puts himself, but just no pop to that snap. You see, he snapped it, there's just no pop on the ball.
Here's Garcia. Boy, has he added a lot to his defensive game since he first came into Major League Soccer last year. I'm not sure I remember him making a tackle in his own half of the field.
Well, you learn to adapt to this league, I think. You realize that, you know what, modern soccer doesn't allow you to have a forward or a midfielder who can't track back, who can't defend. And I think both of these teams have showed it right there. The fact that being a star like Valencia or be it Garcia, you have to play. Modern soccer says everybody nowadays has to learn to defend and attack, be it a center forward, be it a defender. You have to be able to do dual roles.
You saw Jorge Gonzalez, the referee, almost admonishing himself because he knew he blew the whistle too quick there because the Dynamo had an advantage and lost it. Ching held it up nicely. Here's Barrett, Davis. And Ching goes down. Suarez will get caught for the foul. Ching, the type of player that Claudio Suarez would want to mark up, Marcelo, as opposed to somebody a little bit more mobile.
You know what? I will say this is the kind of player I like to mark up because he was big. He's big. He's not as fast as a Di Rosario, so I would say yes.
Eddie Robinson header. Not turned on the frame. And again, there was some space. Let's go down to the Radio Shack Coach's Corner. Alan Hopkins.
Coach, when we had a chance to talk yesterday, you said it was very simple. Di Rosario, Ching, and set pieces. How you assess your team so far at an hour in?
we've given up too many set pieces, and so that's something that we talked about at halftime, and hopefully we can stop with the needless fouls.
Palencia and Marsh, how they holding up?
I think both have done really well. They're veterans. They understand what these games are all about.
Thanks, Coach. Best of luck to you.
All right, Alan, with Bob Bradley, the all-time winningest coach in Major League Soccer. That's a guy who focuses intensely. Something tells me he's not always too happy about having those halftime interviews. But we appreciate it as always. And we thank all of Major League Soccer coaches for their participation and insight in the Radio Shack Coaches Forum. Here's Weibel. Ricardo Clark to Mullen. And Dalglish is pulled out on the right side now. Top of the box is Ching. Here is Mullen now. 60th minute. 1-0 Chivas USA off an Ante Razov goal. Brad Davis now. An opportunity to get it over here. Blocked by Marsh. And Guzan save it? No. Corner kick for Houston. And you just heard Bob Bradley say needless fouls and obviously conceding corners. Houston continue to get a chance to pick something off here off a dead ball
that
situation.
That was pretty good soccer, though. From one side of the field to the other side of the field, they opened up Brad Davis. Needs to be a better cross.
They have brought their defenders forward. 3 out of 4 of them. Weibel in there. Robinson in there. Again, Davis's cross. Easy pickings for Brad Guzan.
Still not hitting the spot I think Brad Davis wants it after watching him yesterday. It's still that near post, right at that 6-yard box, right where the post is where they were practicing, where they were successful against Colorado and then been pretty successful throughout the year. Getting that near post run, a flick, and then somebody to far post. They just seem to be hitting it a little too far and making easy pickings for Guzan to pick those out.
Regan on the throw. Towards Palencia. Weibel got a little nudge in there to Francisco Paco Palencia. Here's Garcia against Barrett. What a one-on-one match they've had out wide here today. Lawson Vaughn sneaking into the attack, and Eddie Robinson with a beautifully timed tackle. Make that Brad Davis. Valencia now. Vaughn. To Jesse Marsh. Top of the box is Razov. Let it run. And he let it run to Mendoza, who tried to bring in Bornstein. So the element of surprise there with the dummy. Mendoza now. Towards the back post, and nobody there. ESPN2's presentation of the 2006 MLS Cup playoffs is brought to you by refreshingly smooth Bud Light, always worth it. The U.S. Soccer Foundation, the major charitable arm of soccer, and Honda, the official automobile sponsor of Major League Soccer. Over-reliance right now by Houston on the set piece, Marcelo?
No, I think they've done a good job the second half. Started a little slow, but they picked it up. Houston's moving the ball to the outside. They're getting Davis involved. You've seen a few crosses down the left. Mullen's got some success going down the right-hand side. You know what it is? I think it's that final pass, that final shot. You saw Ching headed the ball, didn't put enough pop on that one. Just seems that last pass. We've seen a few balls in the middle. Just can't get that last pass where they want it.
Valencia, the former Cruz Azul man, is putting on a veteran-type performance here today. Boy, his inclusion in the lineup so important. Good defending over there. Here's Craig Weibel now to De Rosario, who has not been as involved as one would like. What a move from De Rosario. Through the legs of Mendoza, and he's off to the races now. De Rosario, the Ching to tie it up. Goes down. Won't get a call, I don't think. Ching remains down. And the goal kick will come to Chivas USA. Put a circle around this moment in the second half.
Look at this move. Great little touch. Splits him right between the legs and looking him off to the races. Right down the middle, splitting the heart. Great ball in the thing. Look at Ching played over there. That's a penalty. That's a penalty. Doesn't even go for the ball. Ching plays it to the outside. Cousin takes him out. Clear miss right there by the referee. That's a penalty.
Contact clearly made. Brian Ching begging for the penalty. So is Paul Dalglish. And Dominic Kinnear is wondering when we're going to get a penalty call here in the Home Depot Center.
You know what? It all starts. De Rosario gets the ball, makes Jesse Marsh, and you see how he explodes through the middle of the field. And then that ball he plays into Ching, splitting Chivas defense. That referee made a huge mistake on that one right there, because Ching plays it by him. Cousin just takes his legs out.
Go back to August 26th, the 3-2 Chivas victory right here over Houston. In that game, the missed penalty call was an obvious one on Dwayne De Rosario, and again, snake bitten today. They don't get one on Brian Ching's effort.
And I go back, you know what? To me, that's clear. Referee maybe he's not putting himself in a good enough position, but he comes out, he plays the ball by him, and if he doesn't jump, he's dead. He jumps because he's got to clear out of the way. Cousin doesn't even touch the ball. He takes him out by the legs. I don't know what you need to do to get a penalty.
Serio goes up. Weibel clears it towards Jesse Marsh now for Chivas USA. So more drama, more controversial calls. Certainly had a few in the FC Dallas-Colorado game last night. Razov got some good running from Bornstein. Weibel's going to have to close him down. Bornstein gets a good ball in towards a 6. Robinson can't steer it out of the box. And Armstead will smother it at the near post after a dramatic bicycle kick from Garcia.
Let's take a look. There it is. He winds up the left-footed, not Alejandro Moreno or Brian Ching bicycle, but not too bad.
Not a lot of options. Why not?
I tell you, we've seen a lot of players, a lot of goals on bicycle kicks this year. People trying things, and you know, it's a beautiful thing. Why not? If you don't try, you never know if it's going to work.
Weibel closing down Bornstein. Here's Mendoza. Suarez. He might make an entry. Bradley's going to bring out Sasha Kleshchin. Davis called for the foul there on Lawson Vaughn. '67th minute. We are at the Home Depot Center in Carson, California. You're watching Radio Shack presents MLS Cup playoffs. Chivas USA here in the Western Conference semifinal at the Home Depot Center has the 1-0 lead over the Houston Dynamo. Glenn Davis, Marcelo Balboa. Down on the sideline is Alan Hopkins. And these are a very critical final 23 or so minutes here in this one. So Juan Pablo Garcia will come off. Sasha Kleshchin will come on. Would you term this a little bit more defensive?
I think a little more defensive, but I also see you could see Garcia walking off the field, not happy at all that they're taking him out of the game. I think maybe he hasn't played in a while. Fatigue. Houston's going to start pushing some more. You put a fresh body in, but I tell you what, you can see Garcia not on the bench. He's sitting on the ground throwing his towel. He's not happy about being subbed.
Kleshchin will drive it in. It's Francisco Pablo Palencia. And Chivas USA has got the huge goal. The Houston Dynamo are in big trouble here.
Good stuff. Kleshchin hits this ball. Look at Valencia right there. Goes to that near post. That is absolutely wonderful. Look at this snap. Puts it near post. Just redirects it. But you got to say to Bradley, what a good sub. Sasha Kleshchin comes into the game, hits the free kick. They score a goal. Garcia goes sit on the bench.
With his first touch, he gets an assist, and I'm sure Juan Pablo Garcia now might calm down a little bit quicker after getting subbed. Now Houston is in a very precarious situation here, Marcelo.
You know what you got to say to yourself? One, they really, controversial, no, they got ripped off. They got taken a PK away from. That was a PK. That's a different ballgame. And at 1-1, different. Now it's still 1-0 to come down, but we talked about important set pieces we're going to be today, offensively and defensively. And right there, Chivas, wonderful job. 2 set pieces, 2 goals today.
It might now be just about Houston pulling a goal back and getting out of here down 2-1. Let's go down to Alan Hopkins. Alan?
Well, the big story with Mr. Palencia is he would not have been able to play this match after suffering an ACL, or MCL injury, I should say, back on August the 6th. He got what he calls a miraculous injection into the point where he's having the most pain. And basically, to play microbiologist, they took the best healing properties in his blood, put in a centrifuge, condensed it, and injected that blood into the area. And Paco said he would not have played the match without it, and he comes up huge, scoring his first goal back to give Chivas USA the lead, 2-0.
Thanks, Alan. Science fiction playing a part of this one today.
Where were those shots when I was playing?
Here's Davis now. Houston's got a big mountain to climb here. Barrett now. The Dynamo will bring on Alejandro Moreno here momentarily. Mullen drives it into the box. Here's Davis. Houston's got to pull a goal back here. De Rosario to Barrett. Rounding the corner. The goal kick to Chivas USA. Well, a missed penalty, and then Chivas USA turns around and scores off a set piece. The big story here in the second half. So ball down leash will come off. Alejandro Moreno will come on. Well, this game has changed dramatically in the matter of 3 or 4 minutes. So Moreno fresh off the plane after performing for Venezuela against Uruguay, who has been a starter all year long out of the University of North Carolina, Greensboro. Dalglish comes off. Assess his performance, Marcelo.
You know, you didn't see much of Dalglish today. It just didn't seem to get into the flow with Ching. Ching has been more dangerous in front of the goal. It just never seemed to get himself into the game. Seemed to be dropping back. He needs to make those diagonal runs, try to get in behind. You can't leave Ching up there by himself. I think he just kind of took himself out of the game a little bit today.
Here's Ricardo Clark. Craig Weibel now. Still plenty of time to pull a goal back. Brian Mullen. Over the top is Mullen. He's got some space behind Regan. Working and weaving. Cuts it to the near post. Headed out by Lawson Vaughn. Here's De Rosario now. To Brad Davis. Towards the near post again. Headed out by Claudio Suarez. Positioned perfectly. It goes, player goes down as Brian Ching, and Brad Guzan handles it in. Here is the controversial penalty.
This is what we saw Onstad earlier. He was complaining. Right here, look at, there's the foul right there. The referee doesn't call it. He says, play on. This is that exact situation right there. Set up that free kick, and that's where Onstad starts complaining and runs to the referee that he should have called the foul back there on Brad Davis, and he's right. He got taken down. He should have called that foul back there.
Weibel will switch it. Here's De Rosario. And free kick time for Houston. Chivas fans are up waving flags in total ecstasy right now with a 2-0 lead here in the 74th minute. Davis to Moreno. Barrett. Dynamo need a sense of urgency here in the 74th minute. Here's Mullen. He's getting space. Shot! He goes one back. What a huge goal for Houston. Guzan couldn't react to that. Redirect from the Dynamo.
You know, I think we've been hitting this all day long. Outside play, getting the cross. Look at Ching in the diagonal run. Great ball by Mullen. But we talked about it. Working the outside, making the diagonal run. That is a great ball. Keeps it low. And I'll tell you what, Brian Ching picks out that near post and puts it absolutely perfect to get Houston right back into this game.
And Marcelo, the delivery, the pace in that delivery, and he gets in front of Claudio Suarez. His movement has been limited today, but not on that play.
Nah, I'm telling you, the success, we saw it earlier. Brad Davis, the first 5 minutes, had 2 or 3 chances down the wing. Then you saw Mullen the first half, going down the wing, getting an opportunity, and then it seemed like Houston just stopped. They tried to go down the middle. It was a 1-2, and then the long ball to Ching. Houston's a possession team. They need to knock it, work the outside. Chivas has done a great job. They've knocked it around. They've gotten their 2 goals. But right there, that was some poor defending.
So the Dynamo, again now with this goal, the complexion of this game and series takes on a different feel here. Brian Ching has produced the goods, comes up with his 12th goal overall, his first of the playoffs.
Well, and that's the difference we've seen between Ching and Dalglish. Dalglish never made those diagonal runs to get in front of his defender. Brian Ching does. He makes that run, and it's all about making sure he gets his foot on the ball. But I'll tell you what, it all comes, Mullen with that ball, keeps it nice and low, hard on the ground to beat the defense, and Ching with that run.
It was a thing of beauty. Here's Mendoza now. Now, how will Chivas USA react after conceding that beautiful piece of work and a great goal from Brian Ching? Here's Hernandez. Robinson steps up. Davis will put it out of play as Brian Mullen now is struggling. And this is not a good sign for the Houston Dynamo. Mullen coming off. Stuart Holden will come on. Spent some time at Clemson, the 21-year-old. His first ever playoff action. Also on the roster at Sunderland over in England, playing with their reserves. Biggest moments of his professional playing career right now.
Well, I will say, you know, Brian Mullen coming off because of cramps, I think is a good sign, because you know what? He was involved up until the 77th minute and was a factor in the game. Something we haven't seen much all year. It's been in spurts. Today he came to play. He was a factor. A little hot. You could see fatigue. Wasn't hydrated, but still, I think that's a good sign for Houston going to the next game that he's back on track.
Now, Stuart Holden is not an out-and-out wide player similar to Brian Mullen. He's more of a guy who tends to come into the interior. How will this affect their attack now?
I don't think it'll affect. I think Dominic already told him, and John Spencer told him what he needs to do. Pinch inside. You know what? You don't need to get carried away. We don't need a third goal scored on us. Make sure you defend first, and if you get into the attack, then great.
78th minute. Yeah, is that the mindset now?
I think it has
to get out of here 2-1.
I think you have
to get a second.
I think you have to make sure you don't give up the third goal. We saw last year at 2-1 San Jose, when they were San Jose, came back and they got the third goal scored on them. You don't want that to happen to you again. You make sure you don't pack it in. You tighten up your defense, and when you get your opportunity to go forward, you go as in a group of 11, not as 2 or 3.
Rossoff, and watch out. He is dangerous every time he's on the ball. Robinson to Davis now. '78th minute. Every pass now and decision made in this one is magnified. De Rosario. To Wade Barrett. To Brad Davis. Robinson, Craig Weibel. Barrett pushing forward now to Davis. Davis will go back to Robinson, pressed by Rossoff. Here's De Rosario. Ricardo Clark switches it. Has Chivas USA done a good job on De Rosario today defensively?
I think, for the majority of the part, yeah, De Rosario, you're not going to be able to contain De Rosario for 90 minutes. He's going to get away from you. It all depends on how, when he does get away from you, how fast you foul him or how fast you close him down. He's gotten away 2 or 3 times. I think he's been effective. The times that he's gotten the ball, he's opened up, he's distracted, he's in there and he's pulling 2 players away from Chivas to mark, and that means it's opening up space for somebody else. So I think he's done a good job.
It's all about making plays at this point. Holden gets a good ball over. And Moreno was there, was marked well by Lawson Vaughn. But Stuart Holden showing he can get to the end line and delivering a great ball there, the 21-year-old.
He really does. He gets down there. Look, this doesn't look, just puts it in. Look at Moreno. Jumps, gets up, just can't seem to get it down. Vaughn does a nice job because he's in front of him. Moreno can't head the ball down. He's got to try to go into the upper corner. That's a good job by Vaughn.
Here's your Bud Light scoring summary. It was Razov in the 45th minute off the free kick, Palencia off the header in the 68th, and then Brian Ching 6 minutes later, striking at the near post, a huge goal to bring Houston within 1. Remember, you got to look at this as a 2-game series right now, and the goal for Houston may be now just to go back to Houston down 2-1. Jesus Morales will come on for Francisco Paco Palencia, who scored Chivas USA's 2nd goal. And what a performance from the veteran coming off injury.
You'd have to say, good performance coming off missing so many games, 9 games, coming back in. You got 80 minutes out of him, more than I thought. I thought he was going to be somewhere around 60, and same with Garcia. Good minutes from him. They've got to lead. Now Chivas just can't sit back and try to hold on for 10 minutes. They got to keep playing, knocking the ball around, keeping possession. But I would say you've got to be very happy if you're a Chivas USA fan to get Garcia back, to get Palencia back especially, and Ante Razov.
Here's Barrett now. Robinson will switch it to Craig Weibel. There you to De Rosario. How important has Jesse Marsh been as well today? Another veteran for Chivas USA.
Not said much about him, but I tell you what, solid. He's put himself in good position, hasn't had a tackle, hasn't had to do too much. He's been organizing, and I think that's what you get with Jesse Marsh, a veteran who is organizing, puts himself in good position, and like I said, very easy in the middle.
Road to the MLS Cup 2006 continues next Sunday. Game 2 of the Eastern Conference semifinals, 6 Eastern on ESPN2. Mono Guevara in New York will take on Christian Gomez. Jaime Moreno and DC United. DC United leading that 2-game set 1-0. From Jesus Morales, who just came on. Reminder, ESPN ABC, your home for the MLS playoffs and MLS Cup 2006. So again, Bob Bradley almost getting instant results from a sub off the bench.
And that's where Houston has to be careful. They need the gap between all their backs needs to tighten up a little bit. If you're going to let the ball go, let it go to the outside.
De Rosario again. Couldn't bring in Moreno. After slipping past Mendoza.
But I'll tell you what, after watching this game, I'm glad next week they changed the game from 3 o'clock to 7 o'clock at night. The heat and everything, it's going to be 2-1 right now. Who knows how it's going to turn out, but still, next week's battle, a little cooler. There's going to be a lot more energy from both teams in the second half.
It's going to be a great level of intimacy at Robertson Stadium in Houston. A lot of Chivas USA fans will come out for that one, but the Houston supporters group certainly will represent itself well. That has been one of the shining stars of this year is the crowds and the intimacy of that environment in Houston after a quick launch this year in January.
You have to say both groups, the Chivas USA fans, the way they responded from last year to this year, you got to applaud them for their effort. And the same with Houston. Such a quick turnaround from San Jose straight into Houston, and you got to say, you got to applaud those fans for how they've supported their team.
Expect a big crowd next weekend at Robertson Stadium. Again, that's Sunday night at 7. That's when the return leg will take place. Mendoza will knock this one long. I guess you got to think with DC United and Chivas USA, those are probably the two best road drawing teams in the league. Obviously, Freddie, a do factor in DC and a great team, but also the Chivas fans all over the United States.
Well, it's got such a history in Mexico that I think is just starting to trickle now to the fans here in the United States that follow Chivas over in the Mexican League are following the Chivas now USA in the American League. And you got to say, you know what? It's only been 2 years, but the two franchises who have just come in, Salt Lake and Chivas, good support, great support for both teams after 2 years.
Serio, we are in the 85th minute. Late tackle there as Eddie Robinson goes down. So if you're Dominic Kinnear, play head coach right now. You sit on this and get out of here 2-1.
Nobody's giving me a head coaching job, don't worry. You know what? I make sure that I keep Clark and De Rosario. Make sure you keep the four compact. You don't want to give up a third goal. He's got fresh legs and Holden outside and Moreno. I'll take my chances, knock it around, see if I can get some more work down the outside, and maybe launch a few up top to Ching to see if I can get another goal.
In other words, no risk.
You know, there's no need. There's no need. You saw San Jose last year when Houston was San Jose do that.
Ching over the top. He's going to get there, maybe. Brian Ching in the box goes down. He's going to get a penalty. A huge call here in the final minutes. The Houston Dynamo will go to the penalty spot. Ching was dragged down. Oh, the drama continues here at the Home Depot Center.
Now let's take a look. Good ball over the top. We talked about locking it over the top. There's the pushing. There's the grabbing. You know what? Hard to see if he was being tugged from there from one side or the other side. Referee had a good angle. He called it. Couldn't see if he was being pulled, if he was being shoved.
A moment that could change the course and the way this entire two-game series will be looked at here. Dwayne De Rosario will step up to the penalty spot for Houston against the youngster Brad Guzan in goal. What a moment this is in Major League Soccer. Absolutely goes nuts.
You gotta say, great save. He reads it well, puts it in there. Guzan, wonderful read, puts it out there. That's brought the goalkeeper. 50-50. You gotta guess. What a great job of guessing. And I tell you what, the defense does a nice job coming in, getting the rebound and clearing it.
Dynamo have a corner, though, not over yet, and they have not averted the danger yet. Box is filled here. 6 players in the penalty area for Houston. Holden and De Rosario at the 18. They get it over. Weibel gets up, bodies everywhere, free kick Chivas USA. Minute, and De Rosario stoned from the penalty spot.
He really does. Look at Guzan. Makes himself as big as he can. Look at that step fake. That's just, you know what? That's anticipation. That's reading the body. Guzan takes a guess. When the ball's hit, he goes the right way. Great save.
Did De Rosario reveal where he was going, Marcelo?
You know, from the angle, it looked like from behind. I'm not a goalkeeper, but goalkeepers can say you can read in the body and the way his knee's pointing. I'm going to guess he gave it away.
Moreno here. This is a good moment for Houston. He's got Ching to his right, as well as De Rosario. Still Moreno. Still Moreno. Fighting his way into the box, and Alejandro Moreno will earn a corner. It's not going to come easy for Chivas USA. 89th minute. Davis to take it. They load the box up again. Robinson's there. Greg Weibel. Moreno. Good delivery here. It's headed away. Hernandez got Golden to Weibel now. And a bad ball from Weibel. Serio is still forward now. Houston's got to be careful not to get hit on the counterattack. But this could be a third goal here. Big trouble here. And Morales, fortunately, makes a mess of that. Linda Hughes from Tulsa, Oklahoma is the 2006 ESPN Fan Zone Section Sweepstakes winner. Linda has won all expenses paid trip for two to Frisco, Texas for the MLS Cup 2006. Congratulations to Linda Hughes of Tulsa, Oklahoma. 90th minute. Stoppage time has been added. Which, the way this game's going, seems like a long time. Chance of Chivas now reigning throughout the Home Depot Center. They have a 2-1 lead here in the final minutes. Stewart holding it to the box. Tries to cut it back. Will go all the way back to Pat Onstad. Wade Barrett now. Back to Davis. Here's Eddie Robinson. Barrett towards Brian Ching. And Moreno trying to fight through there. Mendoza made a big play there to win it back. Razov. Chivas USA trying to manage their way out of this one with a 2-1 victory going back to Houston.
But you know what? Everybody right now, New York is still in it. Colorado's still in it. They're only down each 1 goal. New England's still in it. Right now, Houston's still in it. They're only down 1-0 going home. You have to say to yourself this year how tight and how close that anybody could win, because the fact is we've seen 2 or 3 nothings the first game. This has been a good game, close. Everybody's got a shot coming in the next week.
Yeah, good point. They played twice in Houston. 3-1 victory for the Dynamo, and also a 0-0 draw. Dynamo clearly the better team in the 3-1 victory, and some would have given it to Chivas USA in the 0-0 draw, despite the fact that they had 10 men. Here's Ricardo Clark now. Not much time left in this one. Tries to work a 1-2. Here's Bornstein. And Bornstein will just knock it towards the corner flag. Had no targets forward. Everybody back for Chivas USA. It's not making it easy on Brad Guzan right now. Streamers and balloons tying up the Chivas USA goalkeeper here. The rookie Lawson Vaughn is going to 90 minutes. Brian Ching has scored today.
I know the fans are excited, but they're making the game a little difficult right now.
Yeah,
that's beauty, though. You know, that's passion. Excitement. You come to the game to support your team and have a good time. They're waving flags at Chivas fans. They're throwing streamers. Yeah, they're having a good time.
This will be a long throw from Adrian Serio that he possesses now. And another moment where Chivas has got to kill this off almost like a set piece, headed out by Mendoza. Weibel shot. His block. Mendoza has done a nice job also from the defensive side today. Getting moves to central midfield. De Rosario goes down. Davis is here. That's it. Chivas USA take game 1. 2-1. Palencia will get the game winner. Brian Ching pulled one back for Houston, but Brad Guzan is the hero of the moment.